your yarn and your favorite tea. There's a place where friends can be. Every stitch tells a story. Every color shines so bright. Welcome to Horizon Crochet, where creativity finds its way. Laugh a little, stay a while. Share a pattern, share a smile. At Horizon Crochet, we're all friends here, making memories year after year. One stitch at a time, we'll grow together, crocheting through every kind of weather. Grab your yarn, grab your tea. Come crochet with Callie. Horizon Crochet.
See, Dawn, this is a thing with me. Kathleen's dying right now. I always forget to hit the mute button. I just do. It's like a brain block. But anyway, welcome, Dawn, Kathleen, Funchella, Jen. Good to see you all here. Thank you so much. Sunday Stitchers Club. Hello, good to see you. My name is Kelly, and welcome to Horizon Crochet. I am a habitual mute button hitter. It's a problem. I'm trying to fix it, but we're working on it. I just wanted to say welcome. Thank you for being here today. I've got some news. I want to show you a finished project. We're going to play a game. We'll start in about 10-15 minutes to start the game. We're going to do a little bit of trivia for a prize. Also, if you're watching this later as a replay, I encourage you just give me a thumbs up or say hi in the comments. I love to know who's stopping by and who's joining the conversation after the live. I had a wonderful conversation with Brittany in comments the other day, even though it wasn't during the live. So please feel free to say hello. Bonbon's in the house. Bonbon, I'm so excited. And Jerry, it looks like Jerry's in here. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much. And I was just on a live, if you know Antoinette, on Hook and Stitches Island Style. Her and her sister Darlene have a show, and while I've been there the last couple of times, I've gotten to know Dawn, who's in the chat now. And if you ever want to check out her channel, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste her channel in the chat, because I have not set up Nightbot yet to allow people to drop their YouTube channel, but it's something I want to work on. Jen, don't mess with me. I know you can hear me now. Otherwise, Kathleen would be waving me down. And see, Jen, I should say to you, why is always messing with me? Why is everybody messing with me? Right, Jen? Anyway, thank you so much for checking up on me, everybody, and keeping me going strong. So, the first thing I want to share with you all as people trickle in is I had told you all that I was going to make a chicken. And regardless of what it looked like, I was going to show you. So I'm going to show you my chicken. and I finished it, and I'm actually happy with it for my first chicken. I do want to make some adjustments, but if Martha is here lurking in the shadows, my chicken, before I show it to you, is very neutral colored, pastel neutral mute, because of who I had in mind and the decorations of the room that they sit in, that they would have this chicken in. So its colors are based off of the person I'm gifting this to. And the chicken's name is Matilde, because Martha, if you know Martha, she pops in here every once in a while. She had a pet chicken that was like a family member. So in that chicken's honor, we have gone ahead and named Matilde is my chicken. She doesn't look much like a chicken from this angle, does she? But if you angle her to the side, so what I did was, if you remember on Friday, I was making these granny squares, because she is made out of granny squares sewn together. And so I did the full granny square, but I did a chain 2 on the corners. So these, let me see, am I pointing at them correctly? The holes are a little bigger than I thought they would be, and it's on this side too. See how the holes are a little bit bigger than I thought they would be? So my next chicken is going to be very similar to this one. But then after my second chicken, I will go down in hook size and make these stitches smaller and tighter. I also might do a totally different granny square, one that doesn't have gaps in the corners at all. So anyway, that's my first chicken. I'm happy with it. You know, you got to have a first time for everything. And she's a little wonky. Her stitches in some spots are a little wonky, but I'm going to take it as a win. Matilde, meet the crew. Yes, I'm silly. Get used to it. Anyway, so she will be going on my shelf until Christmas, unless I make a better chicken to gift to my mom. It's going to my mom. I'm going to make some of these chickens for Christmas. Christmas chickens, we're going to make that a thing. If it's not a thing, it's going to become a thing. And my idea is to give my mom a big chicken, and then everybody else in the family a little bit of a smaller chicken, because we're all her chicks. Get it? You know, it's supposed to be a... Yeah, anyway, I'm a little corny sometimes. Yeah, that was my project that I was working on from Friday until today. I am working on another one. This one, I just sewed the 3 sides together. And this is how it starts out. These are 2 granny squares that are sewed together. And I don't have any red yarn that was not super chunky. So I've been using or getting creative with the colors, because as you can see, Matilde has a white crown feathers, and this one has light gray. But this is how it looks halfway done. You sew it up on 3 sides and put the feathers. I'll put the beak right here, and then I'll go up here somewhere. And this part, the opening, you don't sew it like this and stuff it. Instead, you're going to pinch it down this way, and you're going to sew it like this after you stitch it. Let me share a link with you all that helped me with this a lot. I didn't use the granny squares in this video, but it shows you how to connect them together. It's a YouTube video, so it's free, and it's on it's a YouTube creator called Sweet Softies, and I just thought the granny square that she uses are so adorable, and I do want to make them. I just really wanted to make the chicken, and I also wanted to do a full granny square, which I hadn't really done before. So yeah, if you ever want to know what pattern that I was following, I was loosely following that video that I just linked in there if you're interested in it. So what time is it? We still got a little bit more time. What else was I going to share? Did anybody see the new Furls hooks that came out? If you're a Furls fan, if you don't know, I love Furls, but I have one of every size at this point, so I can't justify the cost just to buy more furls because the color changed. As much as I would love to collect them based upon colors, they are a little more costly. So I have to really be picky, and I'm going to wait till the Black Friday sale. But there's one that they released. It's called Juniper, and she's so pretty. It's this nice green color, and if you can't tell, I'm a little into soft greens right now. And that's some news coming out of Furl's World. Is they recently released 3 new hooks, 2 Odyssey 2s and 1 Streamline polished metal. And that metal one is kind of like a gun smoke, smoky. I forget the was it graphite that they named it? Maybe, but it's kind of a graphite shiny color. Hi Sharon, good to see you. Sharon is in the house, and Kathleen says it makes one wonder whoever thought of folding granny squares that way, and that it could make a chicken. I know, Kathleen, right? One thing that would make it even look more like a chicken is in the video she puts little tail feathers right here, and I just didn't get to that yet. I was just so happy to have it sewed up and closed and stuffed. It's the first stuffy I've made in quite a long time, many months. So, but you're absolutely right. Who would have thought? There's so many things you can do with granny squares, and there's so many great videos out there. 20 things to do with granny squares, a project in one day kind of stuff. And I want to look at those more and get into those more. I think they're so cute. Granny squares have come so far. Funchella says, I am too. That's the color I want. Very nice. Which color? The color of my chicken? This rose water. Brianna was here on Friday, and she was commenting on the names of some of these yarns. This color right here is called rose water, if I could speak properly and get rid of my Jersey accent. But hers in the video, her granny square she uses are adorable. I mean, and I hope to make one day just like hers. And she's got a design kind of where the wing would be of the chicken. And it just looks so cool. But I wanted to start off with just a plain one. On the furl hooks. Gotcha. Yeah. No, you're right. I start talking about stuff and then I lose track of my own brain. That's the color you want too, the juniper. They're so pretty. It's such a pretty green. It's so nice. Alrighty. So it is 2:13. Jen, are you ready to get this started? Jen always loves the games, so I had to make sure she's here still. Hi, Sassy. How are you? Good morning, y'all. Hi. Good morning. Good to see you. It's the Sassy Alaskan Crafter. Ooh, that sounds nice. I was watching just earlier a live stream of Alaska. I know Alaska is very big though, so it's amazing what you guys have up there. So we are going to play a trivia game. The prize is going to be 2 people will be gifted a crochet pattern. How's that going to work? I'm going to go ahead and let you know that, well, I can tell you now. For $20 or less, you pick one pattern that you want from Etsy, and I will go ahead and order it and email it to you. We're going to go ahead and try this since the physical packaging didn't work out, but I want to go ahead and gift you guys prizes and different ways of doing it. So $20 or less, a pattern that's on Etsy, you get to pick it, and then I will send it to you. So I'm going to put my email in here. Actually, I wonder if I have a Nightbot command in here for email. Maybe not. Oh, I do. Okay. So there's my email. Nightbot just put it in there for me. Whoever the successful 2, I said 2, right? I think I said 2, the top 2 winners. So it's not just one person, but we'll have 2 people. I'm going to go ahead and ask you a trivia question. You answer it, and I'm going to keep track of the points this time. So we'll have a top 2 winners. So what do you guys think? You ready? Anybody else want to get into it? We did play a trivia night, but it has been like 3 months since we've done a trivia. And these are some easy trivia and then some that are more tricky. At least they're tricky for me with my 1 year of knowledge. All right, there's Jen. There's Jen. There's Kathleen, Funchella. Anybody else? If you want to just listen and sit back and work on your crochet as we're going, that works too. No problem. Okay. So it looks like we have about 9 to 11, and that's pretty normal. Hi, Antoinette. Just saw you. Thank you, Bon Bon. I'm here lurking currently. Are you peeling those potatoes, and Antoinette? I would help you if I could. It's one of the few things I don't mind doing is peeling potatoes, carrots, that kind of stuff. Yeah, doesn't bother me. But just don't ask me to chop a pepper. I don't do that very often. So, free handly made. Wow. Okay. Hello, freehand. I totally tripped over my words there and embarrassed myself. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for hanging out. Okay, so I'm going to keep track on paper this time, so it's a little bit easier for me. I've got all my questions, my answers ready. I am going to work on my other chicken as we're playing, and I will have a little bit of a time period go by as well. All right, let's see. Let's start it off easy, just for warm up. All right, Jen, you ready? All right, so what does WIP, WIP, stand for? Like I said, this is just a practice round. So this is I feel like a fairly easy question, unless you are brand new to crochet and you've never done it before. And if not, I'm glad you're hanging out with us and you're curious about it. So what does WIP stand for? WIP. So go ahead and type your answer in the chat. This one is a test, but it is going to still give you points. Okay. So freehand, work in progress. I see it. Sassy. Funchella, great. All right, let me start my sheet now and get everybody's names on here. Sharon. We're going freehand, just like freehand here. We're actually writing with a pen and paper. So I've got Sassy, I've got Bon Bon, I have Sharon, I have Funchella, I have Jen, Bonbon. Did I miss anybody? Kathleen. How could I forget Kathleen? Kathleen. Anybody else? Just want to make sure I've got my base names down here. All right. And yes, you all get 1 point. And don't forget, it's the top 2 winners. All right, so the next question is, again, we're starting off easy here. What is undoing crochet, or why is undoing a crochet project called frogging? So not what is it called? We know it's called frogging, but why do crocheters call it frogging? And while you all are answering that, when I was with Sarah and we were at the library with our live group, it was interesting because they didn't know these terms like whips and frogging and gauge and etc. etc. Let's see. Hi, Zach. Good to see you. I'm sorry you have to go to work, but good to see you, and thank you for stopping by because you ribbit. Bonbon gets a point. Kathleen gets a point. Freehand gets a point. Sassy gets a point. Funchella gets a point. And did Sharon? There she is. A little bit of a delay. Don't forget, and this is something I learned from Sammy, there is on your screen a little live button. It might be next to your volume button, and make sure it has a little green or a little red light next to that live button. If not, push it and it'll get you caught back up and you'll be timed with us. Hi, Martha. Good to see you. We're playing a trivia game if you want to play with us. The current question is, why is frogging called frogging, basically? What or why do they call the undoing of crochet frogging? Martha is a newer crocheter, so I'm excited to see her if she's interested in playing as well. We'll have all different levels. But yeah, it was great at our live session because they had no idea what any of these terms and phrases meant, and it was so funny to watch their facial expressions. Why do you call it whip? Why do you call it frogging? Because they are kind of in particular names for crochet, right? All right, let's go ahead and do the next question. All right, so the next question is, what is the first row of chaining stitches in many projects called? What is the first row of chain stitches in many projects called? So this is the first row. What do you call that? Oh, that doesn't, while I'm doing that, I've lost my bar. Just put a little dash next to it. There we are. Okay, so Sharon, the foundation chain, row, that works. Bonbon, Sassy, Funchella, Free, Kathleen, Zach, Zach says, Jen, well, I'm not an angel by any means, lol, so I need to misbehave once in a while. We all misbehave every once in a while. You get a free pass here, Zach. Hi, Erica. Good to see you. Answer before Bonbon. Can you see it? Yep, I do have you free. And the only one I don't have... Okay, that's it. Erica, we're playing a trivia game. If you want to join us, feel free to jump in. Or if you want to work on a project in the background, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, the next question. Let me go ahead and cross this off. What is a decorative group of stitches worked into the same stitch often called? I'll rephrase that again. What is a decorative group of stitches worked into the same stitch often called? This one's a little more tricky, but I still have faith in you all, and I think you'll get it. I'll tell you all the answer in a minute after everybody answers, because you never know who might have it wrong, who might have it right. Okay, so yes, cluster is the answer. That is right. As of right now, we've had 4 questions so far, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people are at 4. So we've got a tie going for so far. What does DK stand for in yarn terminology? What does DK stand for in yarn terminology? And I didn't know this. I knew DK was a category of a certain type of yarn, but I did not know that it actually meant what it means. So I'm curious to how many are going to get it. Hi, Diana. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I see some answers in there. I'm going to start to mark them. See, this is one I did not know that I learned putting together the trivia questions. Make sure I got everybody. So the answer is double knitting. And I did not know that. So DK stands for, in yarn terminology, double knitting. I had no idea. Now I have to ask, Sassy put in there 3-weight. Does 3-weight, is that another name for DK? Or, because this is where I'm learning from you now. And my 1 year of experience is, I'm curious, because Sassy, I want to give you points if it is the same thing. Bonbon, you're my judge. Give Bonbon a gavel. Is that what they're called? When the judge goes knock, knock, knock. Yes, 3-weight is another way we describe DK. Okay, thank you very much. I'll take it. I just wanted to confirm. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Freehand. I appreciate it. All right, another question. What happens when you work 2 stitches into 1 stitch? What happens when you work 2 stitches into 1 stitch? Hi, Jet. How are you? Oh, thank you, Dawn, for sending Jet over. I appreciate it. Jet, we're happy to have you. Welcome. We're playing a game of trivia at the time. If you want to participate, you're welcome to. If you want to just sit back and relax and listen, you're welcome to as well. Let's see here. And let me word it one more time. What happens when you work 2 stitches into 1? I see some different answers. I'm going to go through and mark the points really quick before I tell you what the answer is. It is an increase. It is an increase. So you're taking 2 and you're putting it into 1, which kind of sounds like a decrease, but it's actually an increase. If it was a decrease, it would be what happens when you crochet 2 or more stitches together. I hope that makes sense. My allergies are kicking today. And this whole week, anybody else having allergy stuff going on? All right, let's do another one. I like this question a lot. What is the fuzzy appearance surrounding some yarn called? What is that fuzzy effect appearance surrounding some yarn called? Dawn sent you as well, Sassy. Aw, thank you so much, Dawn. I appreciate that. All right, some people are saying halo, some are saying pilling. Let me mark before I say the actual answer. You're all doing great. I think we're going to go until the top of the hour. And then I'm going to be crocheting a bit. Let's see. I think I got everybody. All right, so halo. Halo is the answer. It's that fuzzy that I always, I always think it's going to itch, but for some reason it doesn't. But that is what it's called. It's called that halo effect. So if you were to put a light behind a skein of yarn that had the halo effect going on, it would actually glow around it. I wish I had something to give you an example. It's kind of neat how it works, but put a light behind a skein that has a halo effect and you'll see it. You'll actually physically see it. It's kind of neat. Hi, Trish. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. We're playing a game of trivia. You're welcome to join us if you like. Otherwise, you're also welcome to just hang back and work on a project and listen if you like. But thank you for being here. You are welcomed. Let me see here. Brain not functioning well yet. That's okay, Martha. I'm there 24 hours a day. I hear you. So let's go ahead. I've never heard this term before. Sharon, I only heard of it for the first time a couple of months ago. So I'm not too far behind you there. All right, let's go ahead to the next one. Okay. Let's see. Which crochet hook material naturally feels warmer to hold? What is the material that some crochet hooks are made of that naturally feels warmer to hold? So this is when you're physically holding your crochet stitch. You think I was a crochet channel and I could find my crochet hook. So if I'm just holding it, this type of hook is naturally warmer to hold on to, some people say. So this one's a little more difficult. So when you're holding it, what material is it? Make you all think a little bit. I'm going to add Trish to the party, and I'm going to collect the answers. Kathleen. Jen. Diana. The answer is wood. So wood naturally conducts heat more than metal will, and it naturally will warm up in your hand. And you might think that metal might be the opposite, but metal doesn't absorb the heat from our hands as much. So you all said bamboo, so I'm going to take wood. It's because bamboo is a type of wood material. So if you guessed bamboo or wood, you got the answer. Diana, for not being a crocheter, you did really good. I was impressed. All right. This has to do with what the prize is today a little bit, as you get to pick a pattern for the top two that get the most points at the top of the hour. Two people will be able to pick a pattern from Etsy, and I will send you that pattern as long as the pattern is under $20. So the question is, where did it go? Where did it go? If a pattern calls for a 6mm hook, would a 4mm hook usually create tighter or looser stitches? So the pattern calls for a 6mm hook, but you use a 4mm hook. Is that going to be tighter or looser stitches? Blah, 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 blah. Wow, Nightbot doesn't like this answer. That's interesting. I wonder why. Let me share these Nightbots. Let me share those. Everybody's on top of this one. Let me go ahead, mark the answers. Add Diana to the card. Thank you for everybody's patience when I'm between questions. Okay, and yes, the tighter. Yes, Jen, you got it. So far, just to do a little tally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 3 people tied for first so far. Freehand, Sharon, Kathleen, and Sassy's behind, and Funcella's behind them, each by 1 is what I have so far. So let's go ahead and pick another one. Let's pick a harder one. Let's make this a little more, let's throw in a tough one here. What does FLO mean in a crochet pattern? What do the letters FLO, in that order, FLO, mean in a crochet pattern? Okay, Sassy. Trish is answered. Freehand is answered. Kathleen. So what does FLO mean? And then I will let you know the answer once everybody's had a chance to participate. All right, the answer is front loop only. So this is something that I struggled with when I first started. When you don't know what crochet looks like when you first start, I mean, you have it. You obviously know what it looks like because you're holding it. But when you're talking about the yarn and how it's wrapping around itself and everything, it's hard to spot that front loop or back loop, and you're just not sure. Right? I remember the first time I did a front loop only, it also felt very foreign to do, but now I actually really enjoy doing it. So I like the way it looks a little bit with front loop only. It is kind of it slows things down a little bit, at least for me, but I enjoy it. All right, the next question. What part of the crochet hook catches the yarn? This is a little tricky because it's almost, anyway, I'll just see who gets it. What part of a crochet hook catches the yarn? Trish has an answer. What part of the crochet hook catches the yarn? Hook, hook, throat and lip, the hook part of the end. Hook. You can almost overthink this one if you wanted to. Hook, hook. Now, freehand, did you mean to say throat and lip, or were you trying to say throat and tip? Bon Bon says, Diana, I think you were behind in the video. The hook part is actually called the throat. I like that for you. Okay, so when I looked it up, it said it's called the hook or tip. So my understanding, and let me know if I'm wrong, the throat part is this section right here between my two fingers, right here. This is the throat part, and this is the tip, and this is the base or grip. So do we have a debate here? What do you all think? Do we want to vote? Okay. This is the shaft. Is the throat this little part right here? That's almost kind of flattened right before the hook? This is so interesting. Tip doesn't catch yarn. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take throat and hook because I believe you. I'm also getting two different answers, and a lot of people put hook, and I'm wondering if that's because their source is the same as my source. Does that sound fair then? I want to make sure we have I'm going to accept hook and throat. Throat goes down, bevels into the head, I suppose, Trish says. Funchella says yes. Kathleen says, I understood the throat is on the tapered hook where it tapers in. Okay, that makes sense to me, Kathleen. So that means the throat would be up more closer towards the tip than what I was showing you all. Hi, Mighty Menawa, Warrior Menawa. Good to see you. Are you working on your blanket today, Menoa? We're having a little bit of trivia going on. So let me go ahead and mark my sheet. I'm going to go ahead and take hook and throat. There we go. Great. Okay. Oh man, my allergies. After we're done, I might have to go and grab some allergy medicine really quick. Okay. Yes, the area below that is the shaft. So I was showing you the shaft then. So the diagram, this goes to prove that everything on the internet you read is not true. I trust you all more than the diagram I saw. So thank you. Minowa says she'll be working on her blanket later. Very nice. Okay, so let's do another one. That kind of question was almost like you could have overthink it, you know, kind of thing. And I do that all the time. All right, so let's do another one. What does gauge measure in crochet? If you do a gauge, what does gauge measure in crochet? While you're answering that, let me catch up with chat a little bit here. I need to tie on a new skein of yarn. Oh, okay, gotcha. You should be almost done, right? Are you going to have enough yarn to finish up your project, Menoa? It's funny, as Menoa comes in, you are talking about throat. Yes, poor Menoa. You're funny, Bonbon. I didn't even think about that. That's funny. I said that before, Jen. I know very little about hooks. That's okay, Jen. You're just learning too. You're like me. We're the newbies. Size of a specific amount of swatch. Amount of stitches in a 10 by 10 centimeter area. Stitches per inch centimeters. Stitches per inches. Number of stitches per inch vertically and horizontally. The yeah, of the hook. Jet. I am still stuck on the star. I have no clue what I'm doing. Oh no, are you working on this big star blanket, Jet? The number of stitches per inch in row. I'm learning too. I know, Sharon, right? That's the thing. I've been doing, like, not so with crochet, I'm constantly learning, being relatively new to it. But in my work environment, I've been doing it for years and years and years, and I still learn something new every day. Okay, so the answer is number of stitches in rows within a specific measurement. So I think I'm going to take anything that is related to measuring stitches. So let me go ahead and go through, because I feel like a gauge is kind of a loose term, and a lot of you mentioned some type of measurement. So as long as your answer has a source or sounds like a form of measurement, I'm going to take it. Menoa, welcome to the board. You're now on there. And get that person. Funchella. Except Diana. I'm so sorry, Diana. The measurement of the hook is, it's all about the yarn. It's all about the yarn. It is a loose term. You're right, Funchella. That's why I was like, as long as there's some kind of measurement. Trish, get hers. Great. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do another type of pattern one. What does This one's a little more tough, and I did not know. I would have had to look these up. I know I have like a chart that tells me the different abbreviation answers, but what does B, P, D, C stand for? I'm going to put this one in the chat because I feel like it's helpful to be able to see it to help you. So what does BPDC stand for? Trish has an answer. Free has an answer. So it's BPDC. I love going on to Pinterest and getting these little charts that you can get that help with reading charts, reading patterns, help you with yarn measurements. There's so many things on Pinterest, these little charts that you can download, snippet, just keep them. And I've created my own like wallpaper on my desktop, and it's all of these chart cheat sheets, and I love it. All right, let's go ahead. And Jen, Bonbon, Foncella, Kathleen, Sharon, Minoa, hey Thomas, good to see you. We're playing a trivia game, Thomas. If you want to hang out with us, you're welcome to. Good to see ya. Are your elevators fixed, Thomas? I feel like they probably would be by now, or I would have heard something, but I hope your elevators are all fixed. It's been a while since I've been able to catch up on my videos. All right, here's one that I learned. What is a standing stitch? I had never heard a standing stitch before until it was randomly generated. So I had to look this one up. What is a standing stitch? After this question, I'll do another count of the points and let you know the top 4. Yeah, the elevator is good. Good, I'm glad to hear that. So what does a standing stitch, or what is a standing stitch? Kathleen says that one I don't know. The one out of a million stitches, Kathleen, and I found the one you don't know. Don't know. Okay. Well, I don't feel so bad now not knowing this one. If you guys, the pro, don't know, I feel better. So here's some of the answer. A stitch, instead of using a chain up for a stitch, you start a new stitch in the beginning row directly without chaining. Use to start a new row or round by creating the first stitch directly, completely replacing the traditional foundation chain. For turning chain, use a standing stitch depending on the pattern. Start a new row. Standing double crochet, you do it directly within the chain 2 or 3. It's difficult. A stitch that lets the project stand straight up. Okay, so this is what I got as a formal answer. Where did it go? A stitch used to join yarn without beginning with a chain. Would you all agree with that? It says a standing stitch is a stitch used to join yarn without beginning with a chain. So if we're that specific, Thomas, you don't know how close you are. Okay, so let me... So Manawa got it. Trish. Freehand. Okay, let me scroll down, look at more answers. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. So freehand says you start a new row without chaining. You do the stitch directly. You turn your work. You don't chain. You do the actual stitch. I see. Keep pattern edges nice and neat. Interesting. I'm going to have to try that. Kathleen's never heard of that one. Okay, let me do a quick count. Thank you all. See, I'm learning as I do this. I love this. It's so great. Let me do a big quick count. Okay, so our top three at this point is Freehand with 14, Kathleen with 10, Funchella with 10, Bon Bon with 9. So that's the top four. So we've got Freehand. She's totally reachable. Kathleen, Funchella, and Bon Bon. All right. What time is it? Let's do 3 more, and then I'll add them up more carefully. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's do it. Let's we're actually going to do, yeah, no, that works. What is the Japanese art of crocheting or knitting small stuffed figures? I feel like this should be pretty familiar to most people. The Japanese art of crocheting or knitting small stuffed figures. Spelling counts. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's such a funky word. Okay. That's great. I need to start pulling out some harder ones so we can get a tiebreaker here. I think we have a 3-way tie for one of our prizes. So let's go ahead. Let's get a little more tricky. Tricky, 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 tricky. What are tools? So there's 2 answers, and you have to get both of them. Okay? What are 2 tools that are commonly used to turn a hank of yarn into a ball or a cake? What are 2 tools that are commonly used to turn a hank of yarn into a ball or cake? So there's 2 answers. This is a toughie, and I'm going to give either 1 point or 2 points. If you get one right, you get 1 point. If you get them both, you get 2 points. Good job. Yes, it is a swift and a winder. All right. What is it called when you soak or thoroughly wet a project, shaping it and allowing it to dry? What is it called when you soak or thoroughly wet a project, shaping it and allowing it to dry? What is that called? Trisha's got an answer. Kathleen. This one, I'm going to make it specific. I'll read it one more time. Soaking or thoroughly wetting a project, shaping it, and allowing it to dry. Thanks, Antoinette. Have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, so the answer is wet blocking. Apparently there is a thing such as dry blocking. So it's called wet blocking. So I'm going to be a little more specific on this one because I need to break a tie. And then we'll do one more question. It's wet blocking. Okay. All right. And the last question. Let me find a good one. A really good one. Let's see. This is a double-ended crochet hook commonly used for. What is a double-ended crochet hook commonly used for? This is the last question. What is a double-ended crochet hook commonly used for? Oh, there's also steam blocking. I've seen Sammy over at Yarn Over Hook. I've seen her steam block some wearable projects freehand. So I have seen that. You're right. Some of the answers: Tunisian crochet, Tunisian, Afghan hook. Is Afghan and Tunisian considered the same thing? Bon Bon, no clue. Bon Bon. Really good for making Tunisian hats. Tunisian crochet. No, they're not the same thing. Okay. I'm still learning a little bit, so I want to make sure I give the points where it's deserved. Afghan hooks, I believe, were around before Tunisian hooks. Okay. Afghan hooks only have one end. It's not double-ended. Okay. Yes, that's an old term. Okay. All right. Well, the answer is, according to the internet, Tunisian. How do you say that? Is that the right way you say it? Tunisian? Yes, that. that T word. Afghan hooks are a type of Tunisian hooks, and they don't have the hook at both ends. So this is one with the hook at both ends, and it is the Tunisian hook style. So that is the answer. Okay, now, what time is it? It's almost 5 after 3. Let me go ahead and count these real quick. Funchella ended up with 13. Sassy ended up with 10. Just looking at the higher numbers here. All right. The top two are Freehand and Kathleen. Freehand ended up with 16. Kathleen ended up with 14. So, thank you so much, everybody, for playing a game. I always like to play a game on, I have one for nooking. Interesting. I'm going to have to look that up, Bon Bon. I have seen an old Afghan hooks with 2 ends. Interesting. Well, I'm glad you had fun. Congratulations, Freehand and Kathleen. Let me go ahead and put my email in here again. Go ahead and the rules are for your prize. It has to be under 20 USD. And it go to Etsy. See if there's a pattern on there that you like. Send me an email with the link and to the pattern that you want. And also, don't just send me the link. Send me, like, this is a baby blanket called blah blah blah, so I make sure I'm at the right link. I just want to make sure I'm getting the right thing for you, and then I will email the pattern back to you. How does that sound? Jen, they cheated. They did not cheat. They did not cheat. You did well, though, Jen. Considering how long, you've been crocheting, you did very well. Congratulations, Jen. I need to look that up. I want to see the Afghan hooks at 2 ends. I have some, and they all have the stopper at the other end. Interesting. I would love to see that as well. You guys are giving me things I need to look up and read about and learn more about. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am going to jump up for a whole 2 minutes. I need to go take some allergy medicine. My nose is just out of control. So I am going to jump up. I will be right back. I apologize, but I don't want to keep sniffing in your all's ear. So I'm going to go ahead and put up my little AFK sign. I will be back in 2 minutes, and I will see you then. Thank you. Hello, I'm back. Sorry about that, but I didn't want to keep sniffling in everybody's ear, so it should go away soon. Thank you so much for your patience. So yeah, I'm excited. It's Freehand and Kathleen. Do you guys have any idea of what pattern you might get? Is there one that you've been eyeballing lately? I'm just curious. And while you're telling me, I need a smaller hook. Not that small. That's too small. That is like so small. That's like my nightmare. That's so tiny. This is why Antoinette was saying she wants to get me into size 4 DK because I don't like the small sizes. They just don't get along with me. Isn't this the cutest? This is from a Wobbles kit. One of the first things I did when I got into crochet was pick up a Wobbles kit because that's what everybody talks about. And that was the information I was seeing. And I picked up a Snoopy Wobbles kit. And look at this cute little crochet hook with Snoopy all over it. Isn't that so cute, Jen? Whenever I see it, I think of you. So anyway, I just love Snoopy and the Peanuts. And so I pretty much got that kit for the Snoopy crochet hook. I want one. I know, right? I put all my hooks in this container. And now I don't know which hooks. I've been reorganizing all my stuff when I moved down here. What size is this? That's a 7. That's not what I want. Here's a 6 in resin. I'm not a resin fan. What is this? That's a 7. Maybe I'll try the... That's a big one. That's an 8. Where's all my smaller hooks? I know, me? Smaller hooks? What am I doing? Who am I? It's noisy. My mic is just picking up everything. I don't know how this hook is going to do. I want to try a 6. Somebody had these made for me, these hooks. They're really cute. They've got a wood handle on them. This is a size 6. It's got a wood handle. It's not by any brand, same thing. But they put my name on it. Isn't that so cool? They're not necessarily the best hooks in the world, but they're adorable and they got my name on it. Somebody lovingly gave those to me and I'm very grateful for it, but we're going to try it out. I've never really done a project with it, so we're going to do it. Let's try it out now. And while we're doing that, I need to put a beak on my other chicken here, so I'm going to start to do that. Where did I get the Snoopy Wobble? You have all the Snoopy Funko Pop figures? That is so cool. Do you have the Joe Cool one when he's got the sunglasses on? That's the one I want, the Joe Cool one. I got it off of the Wobbles website, I believe. And I got it because when I first started to get in crochet, I wanted to do amigurumi in the worst way. Because I thought, what a fun idea to do for my nieces and my nephews. And for those who don't know, I am about to be a grandmother in October. And I just love the idea of being able to make stuffies for the children in my family. Or adults. Or my mother's chicken. I I fell in love with it. And that's where I got the Snoopy's Wooble kit, because I grew up with Snoopy, and just a small obsession with Snoopy. And Woodstock. Woodstock is adorable as well. Woobles. Yeah. Yes, Martha, it's chicken time. Sorry. I get these outbursts of needs to be a little silly. So we're going to go ahead and put a beak right under here. It goes literally, it almost touches the tip of the feathers that come down its head. And the beak will go right here, and then an eye will go right here. So I'm going to try with different yarn and this crochet hook I've never used before. It's so light. I missed the only thing I right off the bat, I'm missing the weight of my other hooks, because this is much lighter than the Furls hooks. And people ask me, why do you like Furls so much? Because when I first started to learn to crochet, I was really struggling, and Furls came into my life, and it became so much easier. I don't know, the hooks really made a big difference to me. And I really enjoy using them. Get this chicken's beak going. It's kind of like, it's not really stitches, at least it doesn't feel like it's really stitches. It feels like it's just a growth off of its face instead of a beak. But we're going to go with it. And let's trust the process, right? Trust the process. Oh, this hook is working. It works. It does its thing. Try not to complain. And this cotton yarn, size 4, is what this is made of. And now I need a single crochet. So it's like a single crochet, 3 double crochets, and then a single crochet again. And that's how you get your beak. And let me cut that. I do like how I don't have to tie in my ends necessarily with this project. I could just tuck them inside the chicken and hide it, stuff it away, right? I just have to sew it in though a little bit. Let me pull this loop through. And then even though the beak looks really backwards right now, it looks straight. It's going to be shaped after I tie it in. I will shape it and it'll come to a point like that. So it looks a little wonky and looks like a big wart, kind of. Looks like a growth, but we'll go ahead and get that in there. And I'll tie that in. And then I tie the 2 ends together. Let me go ahead and catch up on the chat really quick. Hi, Maddie. Good to see you. Hello. Sorry I missed so many lives. What at a friend's house sleeping over. So yeah, no problem, Maddie. I hope you had a good time, you and your friend. Does your friend crochet as much as you do? Freehand says, not that I need another crochet hook. I know, right? This whole basket's full of crochet hooks, and I always use, well, I shouldn't say always use the same ones, but I tend to. Minowa says, my favorite character is Winnie the Pooh. My nickname from the my adopted mom was Pooh. Aww. Because I always used to say that I didn't want to be a bother to anyone. Aww. That's so cute. And you must have been a sweet soul as a child. And you still are, Minowa, but somebody that's a child, younger, and you have that kind of empathy, that's special, Minowa. So Martha says, I slept in again, Kelly, and missed the beginning of your live. I enjoy the trivia. No problem, Martha. We're up late with Grandma, right? So I totally understand. I'll rewatch the pre-play. Oh, thank you, Martha. I appreciate that. Maddie says, no, but her grandma does crochet. And she makes her stuff look like 3D, and I actually have to go soon to go back to her house. Haha. All right, Maddie. Well, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it, and you have a good time with your friend, okay? Jen says, oh, bother. Oh, bother what? What I missed, Jen? All right, so let's go ahead and tie in this beak. That's the only thing about the chicken. You know, I was surprised. I thought the longest part would be making the full granny squares. And I made 4 of them, enough for 2 chickens. And that actually wasn't the longest part. The longest part is sewing and doing this detail stuff. I mean, it's fun. I'm not complaining at all. I'm really enjoying it. But at the same time, it did surprise me how much time I spent on sewing the chicken with the different parts and bringing it all together. See, when I pull it through, it naturally kind of turns into a beak instead of a flat top. Let's go ahead, and that end is in, tucked in. Now untie the knot and weave in the other one, the other end. Bye, love you guys. Bye, Maddie. Have a good weekend. Jen says nothing. That is what Pooh always said, Kelly. Yep. Oops, my yarn threaded a little bit here. Good old cotton yarn. I'm trying to get used to cotton yarn. It's got a definite mind of its own, I feel like, when I use it. I usually use acrylic or wool. I like woolies. And cotton is something that Sarah, my friend, inspired me to kind of get a liking for. She does a lot of stuff in cotton. And then Sammy and Alexis did over at Yarn Over Hook. They did the soap sack challenge, and they used all this cotton yarn for that as well. So I need to, because a lot of things are done in cotton. I'm really surprised by that. Let's see here. You're marinating pork chops. Ooh, that sounds good, Jen. Are you gonna bake them, fry them, grill them? What you gonna do with them, Jen? What are you marinating it into? Sounds like you been busy. You've been busy all weekend too. This will not come undone, so I'm gonna have to cut it. Now let's tie it. 2 short, very short ends. My nails are getting in the way. But yeah, after I finish this chicken, I might make 2 more, but out of more decorative type of granny squares. So I might end up not even giving away Matilde. I might just make a better one and then keep her. Add her to my shelf behind me over there. There we go. Finally got that tied. Snip that. Alright, so the beak is tied in now. And the top feathers. And now the struggle. The struggle's real with the eyeballs, but my eyeballs are upstairs. I forgot I took those upstairs. So the beak is done. It's not very pretty, but it's there. Let's see if I can keep trying to shape it a little bit better. And then I'll stuff it, but the eyeballs are upstairs. I don't think I have any more eyeballs down here. But, and then we'll sew it there, and then we'll be good to go. So I'm going to set that off to the side because I need to put the eyeballs in before I stuff it. The eyeballs have been challenging. Does anybody have any tricks of how to get the eyeballs in place easier than what I've been doing? If anybody has any tips, I even got one of those grip things that's supposed to help you snap the eyeballs in place, and it was not much help. Anybody have any tips for me? I'd appreciate it. Minowa asks, what's your marinating it in? I'm marinating them in milk, garlic powder, onion powder, and going to cook in the air fryer. Yummy. I'm making soup, Jen, and then I'll be posting a video actually for Jerry's challenge. I'm going to get that done this afternoon after the live here. So but yeah, that sounds good. Everybody to Jen's house for dinner tonight. It's marinated pork chops. Sounds yummy. Well, I think at 3:30, I'm going to go ahead and head off. I do have some things I need to do. And like I said, I'm going to put that video together, post it this evening in a couple of hours. And we're going to have some homemade soup. And hopefully Jerry will like it. And then I have a challenger that I am going to nominate to do tomorrow's challenge in that video as well. So nominating someone, it's going to be a surprise. And I think that's it. So showed you all my chicken. We talked a little bit about the new hooks that came out. And Freehand and Kathleen, I don't know if you've sent me an email already or not, but I look forward to hearing from you in what patterns you'd like. And actually, let me check really quick because I am curious of which ones. Ooh, somebody's already picked their pattern. Okay, Denise, I believe this is freehand. And a crochet pattern called Wasteland Hood Crochet Pattern. Ooh, I like that. That is really cool. Freehand, I like that pattern. Do you all want to see the pattern that Freehand picked out? I could show it to you. Kathleen says she struggles with the eyes as well. Yum. Freehand says, I don't have any tips. I like to embroider my eyes. Ooh, that's a good idea, Freehand. I've never done that, but I'd be willing to try anything. Please pass the pattern to the next. Thank you. Are you sure, Kathleen? You don't want to pick a pattern out? A mosaic blanket or anything like that? And I'll go ahead and show you all, share my screen. Let's see. Share screen. So this is the pattern that, you just see my whole screen here, my whole computer layout. This is the pattern that Freehand picked. It's very cool. I love it. I love the idea, the fact that it can be a hood or it's not. It can be a balaclava or it's not, or it's a turtleneck, right? It's how versatile is that? That would be amazing in the wintertime, especially up here in Canada. So I think that looks so cool. So cool. I will get that taken care of this evening or tomorrow morning. And I get that to you, Denise. And let me get back to my... Isn't it beautiful, Bonbon? It's so versatile. I'll send you a link to a YouTube tutorial that taught me how to do it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Kathleen, yes, I'm sure. So very grateful, but I'd like to pass it on. Okay. So next on the list, after Kathleen, was Francella. Francella came in next with 13 points. So Francella, are you still here? I know I started to log out and then I got distracted. I wanted to show everybody the picture that the pattern that Freehand had picked out. But Francella, are you still here by any chance? And it's very kind of you, Kathleen. Thank you so much. And I know how to get in Francella as well. So I will reach out to her on Discord or email and see what pattern she would like. And Kathleen, just for fun, I'll let you know which one she picks out once she does. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. Freehand, like I said, I'll be in touch with you shortly, probably sometime this evening after I do my other video. I'll get that purchased. I'll email it over to you. Francella, if you're there listening, just let me know whichever one. You know how to get in touch with me, and I'll reach out and let you know as well. And Bonbon, Jen, Kathleen, Erica, Freehand, Sassy, if you're still here, Maddie, Minoa, so many of you. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I appreciate Diana. Diana was here as well. And Jen, Martha, thank you so much. All right, everybody, I appreciate you. You have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you later. And I'll see you. Wow, that's right. This weekend coming up, I have a couple of lives. And I'm going to have a couple of surprise lives as well. So you'll definitely see me Friday evening next. And you might even see me before that as a surprise live. Okay. All right. I'm going now. Okay. All right. All right. For sure. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Okay. You still here? Okay. All right. Bye.
Come on in, pull up a chair. Leave the busy world out there. Grab your yarn and your favorite tea. There's a place where friends can be. Every stitch tells a story. Every color shines so bright. Welcome to Horizon Crochet, where creativity finds its way. Laugh a little, stay a while. Share a pattern, share a smile. At Horizon Crochet, we're all friends here, making memories year after year. One stitch at a time, we'll grow together, crocheting through every kind of weather.